Hey everyone, welcome back. You're watching Cooking with Reed and Andrew today. Actually, it's MOI, but today we're going to make tortillas from that flour we ground and sweated our way through the other day. Well, actually for us it was about 30 minutes ago. For you guys, it's the next day.
For us, it's tonight too.
Exactly, yeah. Now, we have our top secret recipes, which I will never reveal to anyone. No, I'm kidding.
All recipes.
Actually, yeah, I've gotten good suggestions. I just have a tendency to customize recipes as I work on them, and then they become what I like. And it takes a little bit. This flour absorbs water differently, so I've had to get things altered a bit to be able to use it the way I want to. You got to play with that. Plus, where you are and the altitude and all that, it affects things. So whatever you see in a cookbook, that's for where they did it, when they did it, and that person. Literally. They're never exactly the same. You're going to have to play with it. You think it's about right, Andrew?
I mean, my stepmom never sticks to a recipe. She always changes stuff up.
Well, you've been cooking.
That too.
Do you vary it a lot?
Oh, yeah. I took after her.
And so if you don't do any cooking, Steve, you need to start practicing and really working on it. Because there's a lot of little details, intuition, and everything else you're going to develop doing it yourself. And it's really important to play with it. What do you think, Andrew?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. So Steve at Corsair Trainers, get to work on those cookbooks. Yes, I'm picking on one of my other friends
Okay.
that has a YouTube channel. All right, so this recipe is actually fairly easy. All the technique to get good flour tortillas, in this case whole wheat flour tortillas, is to make certain you don't cook them too long and they become crackers. If you cook them too long, they're crackers. We're not going to do that today. At least I hope so. Now, what we need, 3 cups of flour. Now, you want your flour kind of light and airy, and since this is freshly ground, freshly sifted, and everything else, it's light and airy.
Freshly floured.
Yeah, fresh flour. That's 1 cup. Two cups. 3 cups. All right, we'll set this aside. Now we need 2 teaspoons of baking powder. There, I'll let Andrew put it in.
Oh, man, I could do something. So 2 teaspoons, right?
2 teaspoons.
Yeah, ready? There's 1. There's 2.
All right, now we need a teaspoon of salt. Now, I kind of like my bread a bit salty, so if you want to back off a little bit, use half a teaspoon. But I usually it goes well with the burritos and stuff, so I like 1 teaspoon of salt. Now, obviously, half a teaspoon, 1 teaspoon. We're not talking about, making you stroke out here. Just sort of taste where you want.
There we go.
Alrighty. Now we need the fat. Now the fat can be bacon fat, like leftover bacon grease like that. I was gonna use that today, but I checked on the bacon grease I'd set aside, and well, I waited too darn long. It got a little ugly. So we're gonna use coconut oil. Now I particularly like coconut oil. For some reason, some people hate the darn stuff for some weird things. It's actually proven to be really good in the prepper area for me. I will cover that in very good detail eventually. For now, we're going to go with coconut oil. So we need a 1/3 cup of our fat. So I've got a 1/3 of a cup here. Okay, I'll let Andrew grab that and put in the sink. Now we get a little dirty. I'm going to grind all this in together with my hands, and what I'm trying to do is cut the fat into everything. Just kind of squeeze it, move it through my hands, squeeze it, move it through the hands. That's what we're doing. I'm going to try to distribute the fat. Get back in here. And yeah, you're going to get a bit dirty on this. Now, it took me a little while to understand what I was doing on this because the directions in a lot of those cookbooks just really aren't that great. They kind of suck. What you're looking for is, see how it's kind of sticking together and you can form like something out of it like this? You see that, Andrew?
Yeah.
So you want it where it starts doing this. And we want to get it nicely distributed everywhere. So you're going to see a color change. It's going to get a little darker as the fat gets distributed. And that's what you really want. So we're going to do this a bit more. And so any of those places that you see like white powder spots and all that, break them apart and go around some more. How's that looking to you, Andrew?
That's looking a lot better.
Yeah.
It's just the edge of the bowl that, well, was left over from earlier.
Yeah. Move our cookbook out of the way. All right, Andrew, can you get us 1 cup of water? And we need hot water.
Hot water.
So take your filtered water and nuke it.
All right.
Now the water part is where the variance really happens. Depending on the flour, and flour does vary quite a bit between batches, when you grew it, how the crop came in, stuff like that, it can really, really vary on how much water you're going to need. So 1 cup is often short. It's too little water. But the last thing you need to do is be too much on the water, because then you've just got a mess, and it's not going to cook up right. So I like to be under, and then I slowly add water to get it to the exact right consistency. Between what your flour is going to need and the altitude you're at, that's where you're going to vary your water. So I recommend starting at 1 cup with this recipe and then slowly adding in like 1/4 teaspoon at a time till you get the right dough consistency. Now I've got this all mixed in well with the fat, and I think it looks really good and stuff. It breaks up. You can squeeze it, holds its shape right where you want, but it breaks apart and crumbles. That is a good sign you've got your fat mixed in well. What do you think of how that is, Andrew?
Well, oh wow, yeah, that's... Feels like stuff's mixed together, all right.
Yeah. One of the other things you're going to need when making flour tortillas, well, at least I recommend you can roll them out by hand if you want, is a tortilla press. It does help. Now, one of the important things to realize about lots of tortilla presses you buy, order, whatever like that, this is not going to get it to the thinness it really needs for the proper cooking. It just helps you most of the way there. So when I tried using this the first time and cooking right off the ones that were pressed out, well, I ended up with thick crackers. Not what I wanted. So when we make our dough balls, put them in here and press them out, you take that, get your rolling pin, and thin them out even further. That's what you cook, not what comes off of this. Now, if you had something that was like a pasta roller or something like that, I bet you could run what comes off of this through a pasta roller, and you could get it perfectly thin and just go straight from that. But we're going to do a little bit by hand and a little bit of a tool helping us. Now what I like to do is coat the top and bottom of this with some fat, in this case the coconut oil, and it really helps the dough come off of this when I peel it off. Now we'll let Andrew here do the really icky part.
Oh boy, my favorite part. So just pour it in and start.
Pour it in and knead it up with your hands.
Yeah, ready? Ooh, bit warm.
Oops. Try not to burn yourself.
I didn't nuke it too long, so.
Now the dough is going to be kind of tacky, and that's what we want. We want it to be quite sticky and tacky. Kneading it, though, it should dry out. And like I said, we're a little short on the water, so we're going to add a little bit of water to it at a time. Now, a couple times, 1 cup will actually be right on the money. That happens a few times. But just take your time and let the dough present itself and form up the way it's supposed to, so you have an idea of, well, is this right or not? Don't get in a rush. That's actually looking really good.
Yeah, feels right to me.
Yeah. So you can get the rest off your hands and integrate it, and you probably... Well, it turns out today we're probably going to be right on the money with 1 cup of water.
We got lucky.
like I said, each batch is a little different. Home ground flour is pretty unique, and care has to be taken. That's why also a lot of the recipe books you find from old times is A, they didn't have measuring cups and all that. Secondly, because things were always a bit unique to each batch, the characteristics were different. There was a lot of variances. A lot of the directions were like, yeah, figure it out. You better know what you're doing, and there you go. So that's what's kind of hard. Is like if you watch Townsend and Sons channel, they mention this is there's a lot of things that are assumed knowledge and take a really bit of work for us today to recreate. It's one of the hard things. And it's important to really do this stuff now, learn about this, learn about that things aren't always consistent, things aren't homogenized fats, different flours aren't mixed together to ensure the exact same consistency from batch to batch and all that. A lot of variances occur. Being experienced with this now will really make certain that you're cooking and things taste good for you after things get kind of crazy. What do you think, Andrew? How's it looking?
Looks like dough, feels like dough, probably tastes like dough.
Is it sticky?
Not really.
Smooth, you think?
Definitely smooth.
All right. Yeah, we're going to knead it, and we want it to form a really smooth texture. Let me know if you want me to get into it at all.
Yeah, if you want to feel it.
All right.
Set of hands on it.
Sorry, everyone. We had a technical difficulty. Battery died in the camera. Oops. Well, we're back. Anyways.
Adventures in modern recording.
Exactly. I had no idea how many technical difficulties often plague things. And unfortunately, I don't have a bazillion amounts of money to say, all right, let's reset everything, redo it, regrind the flour, take 2. No, not happening. Anyways, once you got your dough ball, you should see how it's pulling across, moving in my fingers. This is really good. Now, you're not going to want to make a huge pile of gluten unless you want super chewy tortillas. But the other thing, though, is this kind of flour doesn't make super gluten-y things. The bread made out of this still comes out really nice, just has a different texture. Also, though, if I put more protein-high wheat in there, more of the hard red, I could get that. But we're not doing that today. So this is what we want. Now, we're going to have a bunch of dough balls we're going to want to make. Now, the question is, how big do you want your tortillas? What we're going to do here is kind of roll this out to like a log. We're going to roll this out into a nice log here. And if we put this into the oven, we can make a baguette. But we're making tortillas today. Whoops. Splash, splash, splash.
They're melting!
Now, how big of a tortilla you want is going to be determined by how thick we get this rolled out to. That's what happens. Now, if you want like a giant, supersized burrito tortilla, well, keep your log pretty thick. For us, the pan we're going to use is a little smaller. We're going to use a flapjack pan, which should work just fine.
Closest I can find to a Kamal at Walmart.
And we're going to do that, so we're not going to do super huge ones. The other thing is, our tortilla press isn't huge. So we have a limited working area to deal with here. Oh, can I get a knife, Andrew?
Yeah, what kind of knife?
Any knife that can cut your dough.
Yeah, I can cut bread knife somewhere. Somewhere.
Well, bread knife, just a steak knife will work.
Okay.
Actually, I'll just be prepared today. I'll wash my knife off. What do you think? That thick enough, or do you think we need thinner?
I think it might be thick enough. Yeah, I don't know how big these are going to be, so I can't wait to see.
We're going to find out in the first one.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to cut this up. My knife here. It's my EDC knife. Seems good enough. So we're going to cut these up into equal size chunks, or at least as equal size as I'm going to make them. So homemade tortillas are, well, Homemade.
And tortillas?
Huh?
And tortillas?
And tortillas.
Whoa.
But there's variants. It's not like we're machines here. No. There's some of you out there that I think could make them exactly perfect and get a ruler out and do all that. Not me. I just do things my way. Yeah. But that looks mostly good. What do you think, Andrew?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this one on the end might be
yeah, a little
large,
bit
but-
bigger. A little bit bigger. Okay, we got our tortilla press. What we're going to do here is get a little bit of that coconut oil. Oops. Yeah. Now grab a butter knife.
Thunk.
Dunk. I'm going to put some oil here on this and rub it around. And some of you teenage boys out there, I'm certain, are laughing your rear ends off at this.
Well, use a brush.
Oh, hey, yeah. All right, we've got a brush. This is just going to help the dough come off of this very effectively. All right, let's pick somewhat in the middle because this will give you an idea of what's going on. Now, to sort of what they're going to come out in size with, like you said, the one at the end is a little bit bigger. So we'll move the two ends off to the side. You're going to roll them up into little tiny balls. Just pre-ball them. Now this dough actually dries out a little quicker. I don't know why homemade wheat flour does that, but it does. So if you get it where it's getting a little crusty for whatever reason, add a little water and then you can redo the ball. So right now they're okay. Now as we're getting towards the end of the cooking, yeah, they're going to be a little crusty. That's okay. It don't matter. On the cooking, they'll be fine. And everything will come out really good in the end. We'll put the two bigger balls here on the very end, which we will be just fine. How's the dough feel, Andrew?
Feels good. Feels nice and smooth still.
You made flour before?
No, I
No,
haven't.
not flour. You made bread on your own hand.
I've made dough before, not necessarily bread, but made biscuits recently.
Oh, yeah. I love biscuits. This makes really good biscuits.
Mm.
Mixed in with several pieces of butter or something like that, you can make a really flaky, really tasty biscuit. Take this, put it in here, and go squish. Now, here's what happens. We end up with about this size of tortilla. This is not the final product. What I'm going to do here, stack them off to the side a little bit and just squish them. If we got enough counter space. Hopefully.
I mean, I have a big island, but also got some other stuff on it.
Unfortunately, Andrew seems to subscribe to the same philosophy I have, that flat surfaces are the devil's playground. Everything ends up on them. What do you think, Andrew? Sound about right?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a box. Wait, that's your box. Got a That's your laptop. You're the one putting stuff on my counter space.
Guilty. So maybe I'm possessed.
You're possessed. I'm haunted.
Oh, you have to tell me about this haunted house story.
No, the house isn't haunted. I'm haunted.
Oh.
At least that's what one of my friends is telling me.
Okay. Now we're seeing a little variance in the sizes, but they're actually fairly consistent, which is good. What do you think, Andy? Pretty consistent?
Yeah. You did a good job cutting them.
It's nice when things go right. Okay, let's get these last two. They should be a little bit bigger. Yeah, just a little bit.
Making a mess on my counter.
I think it's some of the flour bits and stuff. It's not like flour isn't a messy job here. All right, so we got these. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn our pan on and get it going. Now, I recommend doing a bit below medium, just a little bit, for temperature-wise. The other thing is, this pan here appears to be Teflon coated. Do not ever go much beyond medium on Teflon coated pans. They actually release a toxic gas as the Teflon degrades, and they can make you feel like you have the flu. It's not good for you. So be careful of that. I generally recommend doing cast iron, but today we have this because I forgot to bring the pan over. All right, let's see here. There's one on the right.
Hey, it lit up pretty easily for you.
I know. Sometimes the gas in Sakura is kind of crappy, and so they don't light up very well.
Yeah.
I'm going to put just a little bit of fat here on the pan to help the cooking process. Now the cooking goes really quick, and I'll show you how as we cook it to give you an idea of what the heck's going on. Move this out of the way. Okay, so we're going to take a rolling pin, and we're going to get this thinner. It needs to be a lot thinner. Whoops.
That looks like a tortilla. Or tortilla sized.
Yeah. See, if you have them thick, you get crackers. You don't want crackers. We want tortillas. So they have to be darn thin. And I am quite happy with the character these things end up with rolled out. So this is what you're looking for. It pliable, stuff like that. Okay. What do you think of how that looks, Andrew?
That's pretty flat and flimsy.
And thin. And you see we got enough of the fat and the gluten to actually make a dough that is durable enough to do this. If this isn't, water's not right, the gluten structure isn't formed correctly, this is all going to come apart and it won't stretch. It just comes apart, it's just really bad. This is exactly what we want. And if I quit stretching it too much, it would be handy. Now it's time to get this on the cooktop and see how this goes. Alright, get a little bit of water, toss it here and see if it sizzles right away and boils immediately. You're at the right temperature. Kind of like making flapjacks. But in this case, tortillas. Lay it on here. Andrew, do you have a spatula?
I do. Right to your right. In the two steins.
Oh. Right, not left. Now, it does help if you put this on the right way, because I accidentally fingered this when I put it on.
You want some light up there? Yeah, switch on the right.
I messed up the first one. That does happen. You can make a mistake on that. And what you want to do is you want to cook this fairly quickly. I fat fingered this a little bit when I was doing this, so this one got a couple oopses in it and tears. Okay, guys, so when you roll them out, leave them where they're at until you're ready to cook. So we're going to pick this one up here, carefully. Yep, thinness is good. We're going to lay it on here carefully and thinly. Put on here. Now the cooking goes fairly quickly. What you're going to want it to do is just pretty much, you know those burn marks you see on tortillas where those kind of brownie spots? That's what we're going to do. It's about a minute to a minute and a half on each side. It goes quickly. Andrew's getting a bunch of these ready so we can kind of move along here. Okay, I'm going to flip this one. Flip this over. Oops, I need a little bit longer on that side. That's okay, you can flip it a couple times to get it to right. Okay, once you've got your tortilla cooked and you're burning your fingers, we're gonna run over here and put them into a warming station. The idea behind this paper towel and, a towel and aluminum foil thing, so they're gonna sit in there. They're gonna stay warm and stuff like that. Also, it means as they age in there, they're gonna stay pliable. It's very important to do that at the end stage of cooking these. What do you think of this process, Andrew? Weird?
Well, if I don't scratch the other ones. I haven't done this in a long time. Rolling out something.
This looks like those psychology tests. What do you see?
I see dough and a square and Benito Mussolini.
To not make the video sound like it's going to take, all night, and you're going to be going, good grief, Reed, when are you going to get to the point of this? Well, this is how tortillas are made, and we're going to stop here on the video. I'm going to have Andrew give you a taste test review real quick. He's going to try them out. We're going to cook the rest of them for ourselves off camera. But this is how it works. I really encourage you to try this. If not, just at least go get some flour at the store, some whole wheat flour, and try making your own tortillas. Get a grain mill in the end and try that, see what they're like. I'll do a full review on the grain mill I was using later so you guys can see if you want that one or not. But here, let me get a tortilla. Now, one of the important signs of a good tortilla is flexibility. See how this is? Nice and flexible. It's a very good sign. And that's why we have them in the warmer. It's like that. It traps the moisture. Helps keep the dough stay moist instead of drying out as we're doing all this. Okay, Andrew. You want to taste test this for us?
Yeah, sure.
Not bad?
It's good. I think it'd be better with some stuff inside it.
Yeah, he's getting ready to make a burrito. Something.
Yeah. Alright, so here's my... I'm gonna need 2 plates for this. What am I doing? Here's my shredded chicken, bean, and cheddar and mustard cheese burrito.
Looks like it meets Andrew's approval.
Pretty boy. You know what I'm having for lunch tomorrow?
I hope you all learned something. Hope this answers the question of how to make your own flour and make something useful out of it, tortillas. Andrew likes it. Take care, everyone. This is Reed.
And
out for now.